you so much for showing interest in my services. My name is Laura Gendron, and I'm the owner and founder of Misbehavior. I thought I would just take a few minutes to explain a little bit about how my services work, what things would look like if you were to become a client of mine, and why I do things the way I do. And I will try to keep this as brief as possible because I'm sure you have other stuff going on. So again, my name is Laura Gendron. I've been running my business since 2008. I started off doing a lot of classes and kind of working in a shelter and evaluating those dogs there. But then I quickly decided to move to private training because I really enjoy working with clients one-on-one and really digging into individual dogs and individual families, and I kind of see it as like a mystery to solve. It's kind of every case is a little bit different, or a lot different, and I like to get into the nitty-gritty, the nuances of all the different pieces of behavior. So whether it's the dog's behavior, whether it's the behavior of the people, whether it's the environment they're in and you're in, your family dynamics, your learning history, your dog's learning history. There's a lot that's involved and it can be really overwhelming. So my job, I think, is to help you sort of narrow down what those pieces are that you really need to look at and focus on, because you have so much other stuff going on in your life, right? And so as the person who's been studying this for many years, my hope is that I can give you some shortcuts to some of that stuff while also helping you meet your dog's needs and also meeting your own needs as well. So when you decide to start working with me, basically what it looks like is we would set up a virtual consultation. And the reason why I do things virtually now since COVID is because when I started doing things virtually during COVID, I realized how much better it was to basically consult with people without the distraction of their dog, being worried about what I was doing, because I was seeing a lot of dogs who were fearful of strangers or even just really excited about new people, and that can be really distracting for everybody. So I really enjoy technology, and because of that, I try to make it as easy as possible for you. So if you don't really love technology, but you're willing to give it a try, I do try to make it so that it's easy. So usually I can talk you through any sound issues you're having, microphone issues you're having, stuff like that. So a lot of what we're going to be doing during the initial consultation is history taking, talking about your environment. I might have you show me parts of your environment. I'll get a feel for noise level in your house, and we'll talk about what your learning history is. How many dogs have you raised in the past? What has that experience been like? What are your family dynamics now as far as, do you have kids? Do you have no kids? Do you have, people visiting all the time? Do you live with your elderly parents? There's so many different pieces to it, and I will help you narrow that down. So once you book the initial virtual consultation, which will be typically about 90 minutes, although to be honest, sometimes I go a little bit over, so you might want to leave a little extra time. Typically it's about 90 minutes, and we'll take some breaks as needed. So if you have kids home who you need to attend to every so often, then that's completely fine. If you have a dog who needs to go out for a potty break or a puppy, then that's completely fine too. You'll also see typically my dog Willow, who just popped up a second ago, is in the room with me here. She's usually laying back there. As soon as I start talking to the screen, she kind of knows that, I'm going to be at it probably for a little while. Sometimes you'll see her making her bed or snuggling with her blanket, stuff like that. So I also have my own dog here. So you will get to see that. So during the consultation, lots of questions, lots of discussion. Everything is recorded if you would like it to be. I used to record everything all the time automatically, but then I decided to start asking clients if they would like a recording. Most people do, and so I will do that for you. If I need to demonstrate anything, I can typically do that with Willow, and let me tell you, I have a large library of YouTube videos that are unlisted. I also have a lot of public ones, but there are many that are unlisted that I've made over the years that typically will show you how to build a skill. So anything we talk about, I will probably have resources for already, and if I don't, Willow is typically happy to help me make them. So we'll have our consultation. After that, I will send you a summary, which is a write-up on in Google Docs. I'll send you, and there will be the link to the recording in there if you need that, if you decide to have that, as well as a summary of what we talked about, my initial assessment of your dog, my initial assessment of just sort of your environment and how I think everything will work together. And then we'll sort of triage things. So I will probably make management recommendations because we can do a lot of prevention through good management, and I typically will have a lot of ideas for that. And then we will pick and choose some skills to start with, whether we start them during the consultation, I talk you through them, or I have you work on some homework. And I know not everybody loves the idea of homework, but this is fun homework. You get to like play with your dog, so not so bad. I wish all kids, as a kid, I would have loved to have that homework. So you'll get the summary, you'll get the recording, you'll get a little bit of homework, fun homework. And then from there, you can decide what you want to do. We can follow up in a couple weeks just virtually and just see how things are going, do a quick little check-in, and then you can kind of go on your way from there and just contact me as needed. Or if you'd like ongoing support because you want that accountability and you have more difficult behaviors that you're dealing with, then we can do that. And typically I'll offer that either all virtually or a virtual and in-person combination. So dogs who are shy of people or overly exuberant about people, stuff like that, those dogs tend to do better with us focusing more on virtual coaching to start with, because again, then your dog doesn't have to worry about me being in their house until we've established some of those skills, right? And then we can start either meeting out and about, or I can come to your house if you're local to me in Northwood, New Hampshire. Step 1 is to book the initial consultation, okay? And then step 2 is to fill out the behavior history form that you'll get. It is a long one, I will say, so you're going to want to set up some time, but that helps me save us time during the initial consultation. So I don't need to go through all of the questions because I've already sort of triaged things and have an idea of where I want to focus us. And then from there, you'll get a little handout about, how to prepare your dog for the session. I usually recommend that you start preparing them in advance for having some downtime. So stuffing some Kongs or some bones or some licky mats, stuff like that, and just having them kind of chill out. But again, this is something that I'm there to help you. So if your dog is being super antsy or you need us to walk through how to get your dog to kind of chill out next to you while you're talking to a computer screen, we can definitely do that as well. Don't hesitate to reach out if you have any questions. Laura@missbehaviortraining.com is my direct email, and I look forward to speaking with you. Thank you.
So I guess I would want people out there that have dogs with fear or anxiety to know that it's a big enough challenge and a big enough project that having one-on-one help is going to make the whole thing so much easier. Like, I went the DIY route and now I've done the one-on-one coaching. I just wouldn't go back.